Sam, can we start with your overall thoughts on the performance?
I think we defended quite well. We obviously restricted their score heavily. They only had 33 inside 50, so I'm pleased with that aspect of the game. Our centre bouncers started really poorly for the season, but we're slowly chalking our way back. So we had a really good performance in that area of the ground. I just thought we looked like a tough side today. There was a bit of physicality in the game, and I thought we handled that pretty well. And a lot of missed opportunities, especially early. But I think anytime you go to Western Australia and you play against West Coast on their home deck, it's a tough day. It's a long time since we've won out of Victoria or Tassie, and I was really pleased that the players were able to respond off a bye with a challenging environment against the side there. It's probably the best side they've fielded. They've had a lot of injuries, obviously, and they'll continue to get better once they play together more and more. But they've got some good players in that side now, and to be able to handle it, I was pleased.
What was the key to what your centre bounce guys did today? It was really one-sided statistically.
A lot of it was around the pressure and being able to, even if we didn't win the first possession, being able to nullify what they were able to do. But I think Miki had a good day today. Got his hand on a lot, and obviously when they have a ruck go down, it hurts them. So I saw him after the game. He looked pretty sore. So they obviously were a little bit limited with the way that they would have prepared for the game. But I was pleased that David Hale was able to get the midfielders on top in that area.
In the first half, going inside 50, it looked at times you were just going a bit too long and feeding McGovern and Barrass a little too much. What did you say at half-time that changed that and allowed you to change the angles, I suppose, and lower the eyes a bit more?
Oh, well, we really knew. When we scouted, McGovern and Barrass are significant players, two of the best defenders in the competition, and we knew that they were going to be a problem for us. And, I think they had 7 and 5 intercept possessions. I think it was not too long into the second quarter, and there's huge numbers. So we needed to find different ways. We didn't plan to go in long. They just defended us quite well, and as the game opened up a bit, we found a few more holes. But they're fantastic AFL players, aren't they? So I think every team that comes over here is going to have trouble with McGovern and Barrass. Unfortunately, our forwards hung in there and worked their way through it for long enough to be able to create some chances and kick a good enough score.
A bit more about that work in the centre with Walpole's clearance work. Can you just touch a little bit more on that? That's a decent effort against a team that hasn't been playing poorly as far as centre clearances and stoppages have been concerned.
Yeah, I thought our fast feet now, it wasn't necessarily a perfect ruck hit out to a perfect play. It was a lot of craft that they do, a lot of winning the body work, and they've got some great talent in there. Obviously, Harley's going to be a fantastic talent over time, but they got Yo and Kelly, and when Liam Ryan went in there's obviously got some significant threats with their mid. So being able to get after a loose ball was really important for us, and I thought we were clean. I think when you travel interstate and you play on a surface that you haven't played on before, sometimes your ball handling can lose its way a little bit, particularly early. But I thought our boys were really clean. I thought James was fantastic. I think he finished with 10 or 11 clearances, and he really led the way, particularly early.
Winning away from home, with what you're trying to do, with what you're doing with the group, how important is it? I think this is the first one outside of Tassie or Melbourne that you've won. Is it important? Is it something that you're going to celebrate?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we know that to get where we want to go as a side, we've got plenty of work to do. We went into this season thinking, all right, we need to put ourselves in winnable positions much more often than we have, and we've been able to do that for the most part. But there's lots of stepping stones to become the team that you want to be, and one of them is obviously winning on the road. You can't afford to be a team in this national competition that loses away all the time, and that has been us, unfortunately. So it's a step forward for our maturity today. That we're able to get a win on the road, and hopefully that's the first of a run, because we're going to have to play more interstate games coming up, and we need to be able to win them on the road. That's what the best sides do. It doesn't matter where they play, they can perform, and we haven't been that just yet, but that's what we're working towards.
Do you feel like you belong in the top 8 now that you've proven that you've got the kettle to do that?
I don't know. I haven't looked at a ladder just yet, but I wouldn't imagine we're even close to the top 8. I think we're probably still 12th or something. So I think you get what you deserve in the game. So we deserve to be where we are. We haven't been consistent enough, and we haven't played at our best often enough for the whole season, because it's a long year and you don't get to just win different parts of it. You only get to win over the whole journey and then right at the end. So we know that every game for us is important, and talking to our players, they actually are loving that because it's been a fair while, and certainly in my coaching time, we've never been in a position like this where every game really matters for your season. And so that continues to be a challenge for us, but the boys are thriving under that environment at the moment, and we have obviously coming off a bye and then playing in Perth is a challenging little period. You don't know how you're going to perform off a bye, particularly with the travel. So I was really pleased that we were able to put the right foot forward, but we're still far from. I still watch the best teams in the competition and think, they're a bit ahead of us right at this moment.
And Sicily, how is he and how serious is the injury?
I'm not sure. He was telling me that he wanted to come back on, but I thought we started him on the bench. Just I didn't think the game was quite over at 3/4 time. I thought they were still with a home crowd and they get a quick goal or two that we would have put him back out there. But once it sort of went 5 or 6 minutes, we decided okay, I think we can afford to potentially leave him off. But he'll have assessments through the week and we'll see how he goes.
Did that shoulder actually pop out?
Oh, I'm not sure. I haven't had a medical update. He looked a bit uncomfortable, but he didn't look too bad. He still had his arms above his head, and so we'll be hopeful. Not sure.
Sam, you considered the form team one of the form teams of the competition. How great is that for a young side to really have that confidence sort of rolling on?
Yeah, I think confidence is one of those intangibles. We talked about it before the game, actually, about when you're playing to state. One of the things that can strip of you is confidence, and that we deserve to feel confident, but that doesn't give you the right to be complacent, and that sometimes can be a fine line. So, I think I love that our players play with an enormous amount of confidence, and so long as we keep it as confidence and not as complacency, then I'm all for it, and I think that's when we've played our best footy, and that's going to be continue to be a challenge for us over this next block. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.